Good afternoon. I'm glad this question got asked on Reddit.
What's your story of a woman being the creep? As a teen, a girl invited me to her house party. When I showed up, it was just her and one of her friends, but enough alcohol for an entire house party. I grabbed a drink and almost immediately the host girl left to do something. So I asked the friend when she expected others were going to arrive, and she said, "Oh, no one else is coming. She is just hoping you get so drunk you pass out and she can do the deed with you."
Today I want to talk about women predators. I was recently speaking with a friend about the outcomes of the Me Too movement. In some ways it helped by definitely causing some people to rethink before that ass grab to a waitress. I can't begin to describe how many times I fielded that as a server and a bartender 20 years ago, knowing I would not get backed up by my boss. Sexual harassment seminars and workshops are more prevalent, and in lieu of videos on phones, well, now there seems to be an easily available proof. Someone is harassing? Well, guess what? They're going to get popped on the internet and shamed, perhaps even lose their job. Hashtag too bad. I know a lot more restaurants and businesses that are backing up their employees in regards to sexual harassment now, so that's awesome. It's being spoken about and action was taken, giving my daughters a better place in that regard to grow up than it was 20 years ago. But another sad reality that came out of that are false accusations and misconstruing a regretful drunken night for both parties, waking up in Coyote Ugly scenario, and then just declaring sexual assault. There's a difference between lowered inhibitions and what seems like a good time at the time, and then there's drunk, unable to give consent, which, by the way, can happen to both genders. One of those is just one of life's regrets that you hopefully learn from and don't get an STD. The other is rape. So here's what I want to make clear. Men are abused and taken advantage of too. I've met multiple men that perhaps because of their gender and size have been falsely accused. I recently spoke to a man whose ex-wife clawed his arms to the point of permanent scarring because he wanted to leave the room from a marital argument. When he left, she threatened to call the cops and say he harmed her. He's a 6'3" fit man. And she did. After that, he went to a friend's house who thankfully had the foresight to take photos and later screenshots where she texts stating she only called the cops because he just wouldn't listen. He was arrested for domestic assault and in jail for 2 days because of her call. Thankfully exonerated later due to friends' quick thinking, but at what cost? What expense? His job, livelihood, and even worse, his custody of his children were threatened. They stay in the marriage due to threats of reporting abuse, the possible ruination of careers, the loss of being able to see their children who would be left with an unhinged woman. This is sadly not even the 15th story I've heard of men's lives devastated because a woman used the legal system to make false accusations. Though all proven false, the ramifications are extensive. I have met men who were discharged or fired. It's awful. According to the CDC, 1 in 7 men age 18 plus have been the victim of severe physical violence by an intimate partner. I have a feeling that number is much higher. They fear to report it for the above very reason. They feel they will not be believed, or they are embarrassed because historically male domestic abuse has been treated as more of a joke. If you are a woman that does this, you are a criminal and deserve jail. You are taking away valuable resources from the actual women that truly need it. And men, video all interactions with a person like this. Take photos of everything, scratch marks, bites, bruising, because sadly you're going to need all the help you can get in court. Also posting a link below with a guide for help if you are experiencing this. Much love to you all. Woot woot.